Alright, so after the slander against me, there are certain things you don't say about a man unless he did them. The problem is, when people want to impress little girls, as you keep calling them, by the way, we weren't friends until they were 18. They were legally adults. People keep using my age to say that it's not acceptable for me to defend myself because of my age. Keep telling me that I'm 50 years old. No, I'm 39. 39 years old. 39 years of fucking hell. Now, a lot of people, actually hundreds of people that I know, keep telling me that, well, they didn't keep up with what happened to me. They thought that when Natalie's killer was caught, that it was all over. No, by that point, the police had already done a whole bunch to harm me. And they were well entrenched in covering that fact. They were well entrenched in making sure that every single dime, penny, nickel was eaten up by fucking court bullshit and traveling to places where I was actually being harmed over the slander by Alicia and Natalie Bollinger all the way back in Virginia. By people who assumed the worst in me, and I was never allowed to defend myself. While I had to go back to people with a history of being predatory towards men for help. People like Lana Engeline. No, I didn't want to be at Lana and Amanda's. I was hoping for the best. But what they gave me was the worst. They gave me bullshit. They didn't even try to understand that I have emotions too. I'm not allowed to have emotions. They're allowed to scream at me over whatever, just like Shannon Alvarado. Shannon Alvarado doesn't care what I have to say. She'll text at me for weeks at a time, and then she'll have these little things where she can send a voicemail or a voice message in texting, and I can't. So then she says all the mean, nasty fucking shit that she wants to say in those, and I literally can't defend myself. So I don't listen to those things anymore. I do rip Shannon's ass. Because she offered to help and was too fucking drunk to do so. You know, if she'd have told me she was an alcoholic the first time we talked, I'd have stopped talking to her. I'd have still been friendly with her, but I would not have tried to get help from her. Because she's a fucking alcoholic and I know how they are. If Britt Roloff had told me that he was on methamphetamines before I went to Virginia, I would not have gone to Virginia to see him this year. I would have still been friends with him. But I'd have also known that he wasn't going to help because he's addicted to methamphetamines. And there's people like Riley Johnson. You know, Riley Johnson and Casey Smith are two of the names of that website that people were using to harass me. One of the names was Casey Smith. One of the other names was Riley Johnson. These are two people that I know personally. And after getting a hold of both of them said, hey, it wasn't me. And it turned out that it wasn't them. But the thing is, people thought that just because Natalie's killer was caught, that everything was fine and dandy and I just needed to let it go and it would be fine. No, all of my money since before Natalie was killed has been eaten up. Before Natalie was killed, Ken and Leah stole all of my money. When I went over to Miss Peaches to try to get help on the 26th of December in 2017, I went to her house to try to get help, to try to get someone who wasn't considered mentally ill to actually fucking do something instead of telling me you need to do this and you need to do that. Every single person who tells me what to do forgets how somebody is treated when they are called mentally ill. You are not a human being. The cops will not listen to you. You go to these places that are supposed to help out the disabled, and they can't help you either. They're not fucking allowed. That's why I beg for help. That's why I beg for you to look at the goddamn evidence. Without Miss Peaches keeping her goddamn word. Without Dan Faber keeping his goddamn word, and Cara Johnson keeping her goddamn word, and Danica Garner keeping her goddamn word. Without just one of these people coming forward and keeping their goddamn word, I will be tortured for the rest of my life. I cannot take care of myself. And the resources I needed in order to be able to take care of myself were stolen. Fuck you! Do not call me your friend! You are not my friend! If you were my friend, you would fucking help! Not, hey Sean, you can stay here, but you have to do it all yourself. I can't! Temporary this and temporary that does not give me a mailbox that I can use, where I can have evidence sent to. It doesn't give me the money to pay my fucking rent. It doesn't put a roof over my fucking head. It doesn't get me a goddamn advocate. And when they call you mentally ill, literally the only thing that you can do is take the abuse or get an advocate. And I can't even get an advocate without someone coming forward. Someone like Kayla Trujillo. Kayla, you're a piece of shit. You did more harm than anybody else except for Candace Bondurant. Because you kept saying you would. And then no matter what, when it came to keeping your word, you did not.